Alright. Hello. Welcome to another manipulation video. Let me just get this out of the way first. Alright. Emotions. The good, the bad, the neutral, the ugly, the beautiful, and all manner of things in between those words I just used. However, feeling them is not inherently good or bad. It's more neutral. Reacting by emotional influence is a lot more bad than it is good. Why? I think of it as the need for logic, practicality, outweigh reactivity. Think of some situations. Either situations you've seen, been told about, or been through yourself. Did you benefit from strong emotional reactivity? If it was a stressful situation, did reacting make you feel worse or better? Not just emotionally, but physically. Did you feel your heart rate go up? Did you feel your muscles tense and clench? Did you notice yourself being angry? On the other side of it, dwelling on pleasant memories and situations and emotions also can be a distraction. Can inhibit you from thinking clearly about what to do next. Being hopeful for a situation to change instead of acting on the information you have to change that situation is the problem. That's where hope ceases to become something of a positive influence and becomes a poison. That's where your optimism and your levity ceases to be a good influence and becomes the emotional and psychological equivalent of just getting drunk. My advice, my manipulation of your cognition is to simply stop, breathe, feel the moment, let it pass. And once it's gone, stop feeling it. There's no sense in holding on to something that's in the past. Especially emotions. They can distract from the here and now and inhibit you from building a future. Instead, think about how you acted in those situations, how you felt in those situations before. Analyze, think about your own thoughts and feelings. And if it did lead to an outcome that you did not want, think about how you could have acted differently. And next time you feel strong, emotional, overwhelming logic, reasoning, and practicality, just simply breathe. Here's why. At the anatomic level of your body, your breathing, the contraction, expansion of your lungs, influences the pressure on your heart. Slow, deep, deliberate breaths, equally as slow in as out. This will make your heart beat at a steady rhythm as opposed to an erratic one. Slow and steady wins the race is what they say, after all. Thanks to that Aesop's fable about the tortoise and the hare. Your heart doesn't just pump blood through your body. It pumps the electrical part of the electrochemical signals that go through your nerves. It goes throughout your entire body. This is why a lot of Eastern mystics and Buddhists and spiritual advisors and priests of some of their religions, this is why they all start with breath control. It stabilizes your body at multiple levels. It doesn't just decrease high blood pressure and help nullify some amounts of tension and stress. It stabilizes and regulates the electrical part of your nervous system. And when that's steady, you can think more clearly. What emotions do when you feel them strongly and you don't choose to stop and breathe, they destabilize your breathing, which destabilizes your steady and calm heart rate, which increases stress. It also destabilizes your conscious and subconscious mind, because all that electricity generated from your heart that goes throughout your central and peripheral nervous system, throughout your entire body. A single charge from an irregulated heartbeat can cause vasoconstriction. If you don't believe me, look up some of the anatomy. More specifically on where your nerves are located throughout your central and peripheral nervous system and how close they are to veins, arteries, and capillaries, as well as which type of muscle tissue the heart is made of, and which type of muscle tissue lines your veins, arteries, and capillaries. It's not just muscles in your arm moving your hand, or your shoulder moving your arm, or your leg moving your knee. There are muscles in certain veins, arteries, and capillaries in your body. Now, to demystify this, spiritualists will use words that don't quite fit with medical terminology, and vice versa for the medical terms being not too conformist with spiritualism. But it all starts with stopping and breathing. And I should take this moment to admit openly and freely, I still have problems doing that myself. I'm still working on it myself. Here's the reason that is for everybody. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. We weren't trained when we were children, when we were incredibly young, to pay attention to our bodies, to pay attention to our own thoughts, feelings, and to just stop, breathe, and think. Right now I'm trying to remember some of the ways it was worded, from religious groups to spiritualist groups to now commonplace medical terminology. It's been far too long since I've looked at it myself, and I should do a refresh on it. One thing I can remember from some research I was looking at years ago, the the thing that spiritualists and some religious groups call your aura or your spirit that radiates out from your body. This is simply the resonating electromagnetic field generated by your central and peripheral nervous system, which, as I've already explained, comes from breath control. When you deliberately take time to slow down and focus on deep breaths, equally in length and depth when inhaling and exhaling, you strengthen this electromagnetic field that's generated by your brain, your spine, and all of the nerves going throughout your entire body. Slow, deliberate, deep breaths realigns the heart rate, which generates the electrical part of the nerve impulses going through your body. Which also helps with the speed at which you think. It may seem counterproductive to do it slowly, but when you slow down, you're exercising more control over your physical body, more conscious effort over yourself, more self-control. This takes more energy, and the nerves in your body have to realign how fast they work to do that. They also have to realign the amount of energy going from your brain through your spine and into those nerves that you're using to exercise self-control. So slowing down your heart rate not only helps with stress, but it helps generate more powerful signals that go throughout your entire body. And in turn, that electromagnetic field that your body generates becomes stronger as well. At first, it does seem counterproductive to slow down. But a time and a place for everything. When you focus on doing things slowly at first, you build strong repetition as well as strong memory. Later on, you can speed up. This is something that I realized when I was working at a KFC before it closed down, long before the pandemic in 2020 happened. If you want to hear such a story, stick around a little bit longer. If not, go ahead. You've already got all the information you need. This is just extra. multiple jobs at KFC. I had done line packing orders for the drive-thru. I had done working in the back, cooking, as much as you could call it cooking, the food to be served. And I had done a very brief stint trying to work a register. I found that through the repetition, I had built not just conscious memory of how to do various things, but I noticed I could do these things while thinking of something else completely irrelevant. Psychologically, you could equate this to a computer doing parallel processing. Some of you may be saying, well, duh. But that goes back to, did you stop and think, or did you just let yourself react unconsciously, letting your emotional state just happen? Now, after I started consciously realizing what was going on, I started experimenting with it. I started thinking ahead of what I was doing at the time, and I started keeping track of when I was cooking things, what I was cooking, how much of it was being requested. This took months. To build a generalized overview of how much I was going to need to cook, when it was going to be needed, and when I should start cooking it. And that is just one small part of how I was one of the best at that KFC. Even after I got fired, they wanted to hire me back the very next day. I declined. I was fired, for those of you who want to know, because I was mouthing off at a health inspector who wasn't thinking ahead. They were just doing reactively. The thing in question was cross-contamination. What this inspector had done was had one of the fry cooks that wasn't me get an entire tray of product. They stuck a thermometer in one piece of the chicken that was cooked and had the entire tray thrown away. That really pissed me off at the time. It was a waste of food that people could have eaten, It was very poor planning on that inspector's part. But looking back at it, I can see clearly they weren't planning ahead. They were just doing. Once you stop and take the time to breathe and think more clearly, you'll see similar situations to that too. Don't get angry. Don't be reactive. Otherwise, you just drop right back into the same pattern. My mistake was mouthing off and being emotionally reactive instead of stopping and thinking. I actually should have pointed out that the inspection could have been done differently. That they could have taken one piece of meat off the tray and tested it for its proper temperature instead of cross-contaminating the entire tray. To put it in a different context, financially, as well as resource, the food being the resource for other people, which is the product that KFC was selling to continue its financial endeavors. One piece of chicken can be thrown away easily, given that it's just that one piece out of an entire day. Now, per bag, there were 4 drumsticks, 4 wings, 4 thighs, and 4 breasts. Back then, that was an entire 16-piece bucket's worth. Yeah, as far as counting the individual pieces goes. Now, an entire tray consists of 4 bags. That's quite a lot of waste, just to test one piece to make sure that the vat fryers are working properly. To make sure that the internal temperature of the food reaches health and safety standards for cooking. Well, there you go. All of that information. My advice is to think about it. Imagine yourself in those contexts, in those situations. Imagine how you usually respond or react, and how you can choose to slow down and think. Think of several different ways that you can do differently. Not just good or bad, but the ugly, the beautiful, and all in between. I did say I wanted to manipulate you into thinking the way I do. This is just another small part of it. And for those of you who know, it's not always the way I think. Sometimes I just let the emotional reactivity happen just for the fun and false drama of it all. It's nice to have a laugh every now and then. Everything, the time and a place. Well, I think that's long enough. Till next time.